Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever feared about yourself, the emotions you suppress, the impulses you deny, the thoughts you refuse to acknowledge, isn't something to be eradicated, but rather the very key to unlocking your greatest potential. What if the parts of you that seem the most unacceptable, the ones you've hidden away for years, are the very things that could set you free? Today, we're diving deep into a concept that has the power to transform not just your self-perception, but your entire approach to life. This is the philosophy of embracing the hidden self. For most of us, there exists a version of ourselves that we present to the world. A polished, socially acceptable, and seemingly controlled version. We construct this persona carefully, molding it to fit societal expectations, family pressures, and personal aspirations. But beneath that mask, another self lingers. This hidden self is raw, unfiltered, and often uncomfortable to confront. It holds our deepest desires, our repressed emotions, our unacknowledged strengths, and our untapped power. And yet, we fear it. Why? Because facing it means challenging everything we thought we knew about ourselves. Consider this. Have you ever found yourself reacting intensely to someone's behavior? Perhaps their arrogance, their ambition, their uninhibited confidence. Have you ever felt an inexplicable dislike towards someone, even when they've done nothing to harm you? These reactions are rarely about the other person. More often, they are reflections of our own suppressed traits. The things we resent in others are frequently the things we refuse to accept in ourselves. We project them outward, unable to recognize their true source. Think of a time when you were told to suppress an aspect of yourself. Maybe as a child, you were scolded for being too loud, too sensitive, too aggressive, or too independent. Over time, these traits became buried, locked away in the unconscious, forming what many psychologists call the shadow self. But here's the twist. What we suppress doesn't disappear. It festers, influencing our behavior in subtle and unexpected ways. It appears in moments of irrational anger, unexplained fears, and self-sabotaging patterns. Imagine you've been avoiding confrontation your whole life, convincing yourself that you're simply an easygoing person. But deep down, that avoidance stems from an unacknowledged fear of rejection, a fear planted in childhood when you were punished for standing up for yourself. The more you suppress your anger, the more it leaks out in passive-aggressive remarks, in feelings of resentment, in anxiety that you can't quite explain. But what if instead of suppressing that part of you, you confronted it? What if you acknowledged your right to assert yourself, to express your needs without guilt or fear? What if that anger wasn't destructive, but was actually a guide, pointing you towards self-respect and inner strength? This isn't just theoretical. Across cultures and traditions, the integration of the hidden self has been seen as essential for personal growth. Ancient myths, from Greek legends to Eastern philosophies, all depict heroes who must face their inner darkness before they can achieve true mastery. In modern psychology, Carl Jung emphasized that our wholeness depends on acknowledging and integrating our shadow. He argued that true individuation, the process of becoming our most authentic selves, requires embracing both our light and our darkness. But how do we do this? How do we bring these hidden parts of ourselves into the light without being consumed by them? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to what triggers you. Instead of dismissing emotions like jealousy, anger, or fear, ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Often, these emotions are signposts, pointing towards something unresolved within us. The next step is acceptance. This does not mean indulging every impulse or excusing destructive behavior. Rather, it means acknowledging that these parts of you exist and that they have something valuable to teach you. A person who denies their ambition may never achieve their full potential. Someone who refuses to face their vulnerability may never form deep, meaningful connections. By accepting these aspects of ourselves, we reclaim the energy spent on suppressing them and redirect it toward growth. Then comes integration. This is where transformation happens. It's about actively engaging with the parts of yourself you once feared. This might mean setting boundaries when you've always been a people pleaser. It might mean allowing yourself to take risks when you've always played it safe. It might mean embracing your creativity when you've spent years convincing yourself it wasn't practical. The key is to channel these aspects in a way that aligns with your values and goals, rather than letting them control you from the shadows. The reality is, most people live their entire lives avoiding this confrontation. They suppress their fears, deny their desires, and live within the confines of who they think they should be, rather than who they truly are. But those who dare to face themselves, who are willing to sit with discomfort and listen to the messages their shadow holds, unlock a depth of self-awareness and power that others never experience. And here's the most important revelation. Your hidden self isn't your enemy. It's your most loyal guide. It holds the key to your authenticity, your purpose, and your freedom. Every fear you face, every part of yourself you integrate, brings you one step closer to the person you were always meant to be. This isn't just about psychology. It's about liberation. It's about stepping into your full power, unapologetically, and living a life that is truly your own. So, ask yourself, what part of you have you been avoiding? What truth have you been too afraid to confront? The answers to these questions hold the power to transform your life. And the choice? That's entirely up to you.